Hello YouTube. We're gonna make another hitch on here. So that just has one bolt. It's too close to my battery. So what we're going to do, we've made these blocks, or pieces of metal, whatever you call it. We're gonna take the wheel off and turn these bolts around so the head goes in, so it goes the other way. These are two holes that are already in the frame. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can just see them down there. Okay, here's the idea. This will be on here coming out. Let's extend this out a little further. We don't know what we're going to use across here. We have several pieces of metal. We have some channel, which really won't work because we want something. If we don't use the ball, we can use a tongue of a wagon or something. So we want it flat, not angle iron out here. We do have some 1-inch thick by 3-inch bar we can put across here. If you imagine this is up here. To get this away from the battery, get it back a little further, we may build something for another guard right here because we've had trouble. You can see where I pulled, get to my trailer where I've hit right there before putting the trailer on. We don't want to hit the battery. This way this came, this had a battery mount back here, so that's how we're going to leave it. So on with the video. Said we'll get these tacked up. We did leave a gap so these do not set flush here, so they're about a 1/4 inch back. So everything will clear. This is 3/8 thick, this is 1/4 inch thick angle iron. So we'll have it in here the way we want it. You'll see from the pictures how we weld it. So we'll get busy in this project and get everything put together. Okay, we have 2 beads here side by side because this is thicker. With 2 beads in here, and we ground a V in there, so we're going to weld this. So it'll be 3 beads holding these 2 parts together. So they put a clip in there showing that. If you see that little mark, that's the gap between the 2 beads. Okay, we ground that smooth for a nice finished look because this will be to the outside, if you'll ever see it. And we also ground these smooth for clearance and everything. We have 3 beads, plenty strong enough for what I'm going to use this hitch for. There we go. We'll duplicate this for the other side, then we'll get everything bolted on and figure out what we're going to do to put our piece across here that'll hold the ball. Whatever we're going to use for a brace across here. Back to work. Just a short clip to show that I didn't take the wheel off. I just took out the wheel bolts, stud bolts. These are bolts instead of studs in a nut. And took one out just to pull the wheel out far enough to get my bolts in. I'll get underneath there, put the nuts and lock washers. I painted these. I will grind off where I'm going to finish welding. That way this is done, mounted. The rest of the fabrication will be done out here. So just a short clip. I made that easier because these are heavy. The wheel weighs 30 pounds and these weigh 25 pounds the weight, so more than I want to lift unless I have to. Okay, we got these 2 parts on. Not much clearance. Good thing I had my, let's show up my John Deere wrench. Pretty thin in there. The Husky wrench did fit, but just no clearance. Of course, if you didn't have these kind of weights, you'd have all kinds of room, but I had to design it around it. Okay, these are level this way, they're off this way. They need to be pulled in a little bit. So we'll be doing that as we fabricate it. Got rid of the other hitch. We'll snap a picture of it so you can see what it was like that was made and was on here when I got it. So it's not my crappy welding when you see the picture of the old hitch. Okay, on with the job. Just a short clip on this. I went halfway through and turned it over. That's hot. Yeah, this is hot. This is 1-inch stick. So I did one side, watched how far it went in, flipped it over. I did it a couple times. I had to flip it back over because it wasn't cutting as good. So I flipped over the other side of the metal and it cut a little better. But that's why you see that little flange on there. It's a 3/4 bolt, 7/8 hole. This is for the ball. Let's see, this is for the trailer ball. So I don't care if it's a little wobbly. You can always braze a washer or something there to make the hole smaller, but it's the only size I had. So back to work. Okay, this will be the last clip of part 1 here. This is 2-inch wide, 1-inch thick. Our bolt is a little bit short. Excuse me. Got about 7/8 of an inch thread. That'll do for what I'm pulling. I went ahead and added some 1/2-inch holes in case I want to add something to it later. All we have to do now is pull this in a little bit. It'll be straight, squared, and welded in. We'll probably have 3 beads on here. Probably have 3 beads here. I have a couple beads back here. Maybe 3 back here, so it'll look better. Might just put 1 here. Put 3 back in here. And we'll probably grind this out along here and weld a bead, and then we're going to find a way to taper this, cut this so this is not a sharp corner, even if it's rounded. So we'll have a way to taper it. So thanks for watching this part. Stay tuned for part 2 and we're all done.